Namaskar, Meher Baba ki jai. Daily reading of Meher Baba's biography from the book Lord Meher, The Avatar of the Age, Volume 1, written by Bahu Kalchri. Yesterday we read till 125 page and we were reading about Meher Baba and his friend, and now we go forward with Baba's grace. Daula Masi and Fardum Masa owned a successful restaurant in the town. It was noticed that every time Meherwan visited there, a god intoxicated person, Mast Allah, and a saint, Wali Allah, would come to the restaurant. The ragged man would stay seated outside while the neatly dressed Wali would enter. Both advanced souls were venerated by the townspeople, and both lived on the outskirts of the town, seldom leaving their spiritual seats. Yet no sooner would Meherwan arrive in Lonavala than both would appear at the restaurant and remain daily from morning till night. The local people tried to offer the mast and wali tea or food, but they would accept nothing except from the young boy. Merwan would usually give the wali tea and must a loaf of bread. On the day Merwan would return to Pune, both spiritual personages would stop coming to the restaurant, which, much to the curiosity of the local observers, one of the restaurant's regular customers was a curiosity in himself, a hunchback Muslim who was a superb storyteller. The clientele would often press him for a tale, listening enthralled far into the night as his tales of adventure and fantasy, playing him with playing him with tea and cigarettes throughout the story. Over a single story, Often a single story would take a whole week. Merwan was fascinated with these strange hunchback and would often listen to the tales. Merwan loved to hike in the dense hilly forest surrounding Lonavala. He usually roamed alone. Sometimes with his cousins he would visit Bombay and spend days of his vacation with his other maternal uncle and aunt, Bahumasi and Khodadad Masa, and the children. Khodadad Masa managed several flourishing tea shops in Bombay, and they lived in a large house with a spacious compound where the children would play. Members of Sheriar's brother Khodadad Kaka's family had also settled in Bombay, and Meherwan would visit them as well as he befriended Khodadad Kaka's son named Shah. After some time, Daula Masi, Fardun Masa, and Jamshid moved back to Pune for Jamshid's high school education. There they opened another restaurant. Jamshed thought, though he had lived apart from his parents for some years, always felt very close to his younger brother, whom he also called Mirog. From the time they were babies, and two brothers had been raised more like twins. For example, whenever it was Jamshed's birthday, Daula Masi was insist that Meherwan receive an identical gift, such as identical suits of clothes, so that whenever any new toy or gift would be brought for one, the other brother would receive the same as well. Once again, the kite flying season in Pune. Once during the kite flying season in Pune, Merwan Jamshed and several of their friends went to watch the spectacle of dozens of kites being flown in a nearby field. The strings of the kites were coated with glass so that when they were maneuvered across each other in the sky, one string could cut the string of another. Whichever kite fell belonged to the boy who retrieved it. The moment a kite started falling, there would be an excited scramble as the boys ran towards it. On that particular day, many children had gathered and were watching the competition intently, eagerly awaiting the running dash for a falling kite. Soon one kite's string was cut and it started spiraling down from the sky. Mervan and his friend ran towards it, along with several other boys. But in the midst of the scramble, Mervan, who was in the lead, suddenly halted and asked, "Where's my brother?" The boy replied, "Oh, he's somewhere behind. Come on, Mervan, let's go." Concerned Mervan again implored, "Where's my brother?" But Jamshed was nowhere to be seen. in the wide field, Meherwan said. We must go back and find my brother. The others agreed and began to retrace their steps. While they had been running, Jamshed had stumbled into an open sewer hole and was clinging to the edge, but he was so frightened he could not even shout for help. When Meherwan and his friends found Jamshed, they were able to pull him out of the hole. Fortunately, they were just in time as the municipality was about to release a torrent of water through the sewer and Jamshed would have been drowned. The sewer spoiled Jamshed's clothes and he arrived home foul smelling and soaking wet. Upon seeing this, Shireen scolded him sharply. Jamshed started crying, which made Shireen even more upset with him. She had Jamshed stay outside, refusing to permit him to enter the house in his filthy condition during dinner time. Merwan, feeling sorry for his brother, then inconspicuously went outside with several buckets of water and washed Jamshed and his clothes. After Jamshed and Merwan loved, although Jamshed and Merwan loved each other, the two, like most brothers, would also fight. Jamshed was hot-tempered and rash by nature. Meherwan not aggressive was not aggressive and seldom expressed anger. The boy the two boys frequently disagreed and at times Meherwan would even accept the punishment for their older brother's mischief. Jamshed had been pampered and spoiled by Daula Masi's indulgence. Merwan had been pampered by Shirin, but did not act spoiled. Jamshed had a wicked tongue, and when the boy lost control of his anger, Merwan would not say a word, but would ignore him. Merwan's indifferences enraged Jamshed even more and would cause a bigger, which would infrequently occur. So the elder brothers would desist picking up on the younger brother if Shirin was home. Another brother, Behram, was born on June 20th, 1908, when Meherwan was 14 years old and was sweet natured and took up after Meherwan, while brother Jal was similar to Jamshed in temperament. Both Jamshed and Meherwan knew that Jal was a mother's spy and they avoided trouble when he was around. On January 4th, 1909, Meherwan began attending the all-boys Roman Catholic Senior Vincent College, commemorated after the French Saint Vincent de Paul, who did much work with the poor. At that time, Saint Vincent was considered the best high school in Pune. It was run by Christian missionaries, and most of the boys were from the wealthier families in Pune. But boys of all castes and faiths were admitted. Unusual for a Catholic school, religious instructions was not mandatory. Discipline, however, was strict and punishment for any mischief meant strokes with a cane. At St. Vincent's High School, Meherwan, now 15 years old, came into contact with new teachers and friends. Gradually, he started to like the school, and as the Pune camp school, he became a favorite and the principal, a German priest named Wilhelm Windhusen, observed something unusual about the boy's personality. Father Windhusen developed a great affection for Meherwan, which stirred envy in many of the other students. The gym coach also took a special liking to Meherwan and gave the boy personal training in gymnasium. Page number 127 to be continued with Baba's permission and his grace. And we close in the usual way. Baba mein charan chhod na jaऊं, दाता मैं चरणन छोड़ न जाऊं. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. अवतार मेहर बाबा की जय. अवतार मेहर बाबा